Okay, so today we went on the walk and we found this cat named Duncan.
Hello my childs and welcome back to another video of mine. Today I'm going to be telling some story times of weird things that I did as a kid because, oh boy, let me tell you, I was a very interesting child all those years ago. So let's get straight into it. And by the way, just a quick note, I was looking up games. I just looked up child for some games that I could use for like a visual or something in this video, and that was a huge mistake. Don't ever do that. You just to take a look at some of the games that popped up. I just had to show you guys. Never. I did it so you guys don't have to, okay? Oh gosh, I'm traumatized. So the first story we're going to be starting off with is, oh gosh, I think I was probably about maybe 6 or 7 or so. So I don't know what got it in. Yeah, I think I was about 2nd grade. Now let me tell you, 2nd grade was my weirdest year. I was just the weirdest kid in 2nd grade. I don't know why. Now, when I was in 2nd grade, my little 2nd grade mind somehow came up with the idea that all the cool kids had secret stashes of candy in their rooms. And of course, I wanted to be cool too. And so I decided that I was also going to have a secret stash of candy in my closet. So, you know those little Pez candies where it's like the little Pez dispenser? You put the candy in, you eat the candy from the dispenser. You probably. I'll put a picture up on screen right now. You guys have probably heard of them. Every single holiday, I would get a bunch of Pez for some reason. I was like really obsessed when I was a kid. So I had like this huge plastic baggie of Pez and Pez dispensers. And so I went downstairs, I grabbed that huge bag from the kitchen, went back upstairs to my room, went in my closet, and I had this huge box of, it wasn't really a box, it was like a little plastic bin, this little pink plastic bin of just absolutely overflowing with stuffed animals. And it was a pretty big bin too. And so I put the bag of Pez candy, I just stuffed it down underneath all the stuffed animals, and I was so accomplished in that moment. I was just the proudest kid on earth of what I had done. But the thing is, I was a little goody two-shoes as a child, and I was like, oh, well, this is a problem, because if I eat any of the candy without my mom's permission, she's gonna be mad at me, and I'm gonna be a bad kid. I don't want to be a bad kid, but I want to be a cool kid. I want to have a candy stash. So this is a problem. So basically, what I decided was I just knowing that it was there. Just knowing it was there, and whenever my friends came over, like showing them my secret candy stash in my closet under my bin of stuffed animals, just that alone made me feel so accomplished and so cool. And so I never ate any of that candy. I don't think I ever did to this day. I don't know where the bag went. The candy is probably disgusting by now, but I don't think that I ever ate any of the candy, because I didn't want to be a bad kid and eat candy without permission. So yeah, the secret candy stash just kind of sat in my closet. It just kind of lived there for, I don't even know how long. I think it was like 6 months or something. And so one day my mom was going through my stuffed animals or whatever, and she found the secret stash of Pez candy, and she's like, Nella, what is this? And I looked her dead in the eye and just replied, my secret candy stash. And she's like, oh, well, you better go put it down in the kitchen. And I was just like, okay. And so I put it back in the kitchen and never touched it again. But yeah, that was the story of how I was a super cool 2nd grader with a secret candy stash. the next story I have here, this one makes me cringe. This one is kind of cute, but it also makes me cringe a lot. So, cringe warning, when I was, okay, I think this, because this is before my old best friend moved away. So I think this was probably when I was like 4 or 5 or so. So I watched like a lot of movies when I was a child, like those kids' movies, the ones where the main characters would just randomly, burst out into song at random times. And I saw that so much, and my brain just thought that's normal. That's a normal thing to do. And I was a very musical child when I was younger. I made up my own cringy songs that did not make any sense whatsoever. So I would always just, it didn't matter what was going on or what was happening. I would just randomly start singing about it to random people, to my friends, to my parents. I would just start turning like situations into songs right then and there. And I was like, okay, this annoyed me so much as a kid. Like, whenever the person I was singing the song to, whenever they didn't like telepathically like know the rest of the lyrics that I was creating in my mind on the spot and start singing along like in the movies, or they didn't start totally jamming out, dropping everything and just start like dancing around to my song while I sat there singing and doing my own thing like in the movies. That didn't happen. Nobody ever did that, and I got so frustrated because that was all I wanted as a child, and I thought that was normal. And I was so confused, and I was so sad. And then one day, I still remember this very clearly, very vividly. My best friend at the time, my old best friend, she came over to my house, and I had this little jungle gym in the backyard. Oh gosh, this part's really cringy. And I was totally a wild child. And I would like do a bunch of these like dangerous tricks on the jungle gym, on the little monkey bar dome thing that my dad got me when I was younger. And I was teaching my best friend, I was trying to teach my best friend one of the tricks on the jungle gym, and she was scared to do it. And so I naturally I just burst out into song about it. I don't remember what the song was because that was a really, really long time ago, of course. But I remember it was something about getting your bravery up. And so I sang that to her, and this was the happiest moment of my entire life. She was like getting into it. She's like, okay, yeah, she's like getting pumped up, and I just kept singing, and she was like getting into it, and she eventually did the trick, and I was so proud, and I was sure that it was my song that had finally convinced her, just like in the movies. I felt like I was in a movie, and I was so happy. That was the happiest moment of my life up until that point. Like, it was so amazing. It was so magical to me as a child, and I still remember it to this day. Like I said, really cringy, but it's kind of cute. The last story I have here is from when I was in preschool. I think I was 4 at this point. So, oh gosh. Oh, you guys, I'm never gonna live this down. I had this really, really, really huge crush on this boy in preschool. I loved this kid. Oh gosh. And we were really good friends. We were really good friends too, but I really liked him. Also, this friend in preschool, she was really, really sweet. She was also a little bit interesting. So one day she came to school, and we would always do like the craziest stuff together. I remember one time, a little mini story inside of a story here. My teacher set up a little like scavenger hunt for all the kids, and at the end was some ice cream cups for all of us, and there was like a note from like an anonymous dude or whatever that had put the ice cream cups there. I don't know. It was a cute little thing. But me and this friend, Well, my friend was convinced that it was I don't know how she thought of this, but she was convinced that it was a hippo that had left those ice cream cups for us, like an invisible magical hippo. And so, no joke, the entire rest of the year, me and her at recess would go around the playground on a mission to find this invisible hippo who had given us ice cream cups. Just walked into our school, put some ice cream cups in the freezer for us, and just walked out. This hippo. So that was the kind of stuff me and her would do together. But one day she came to school with a bunch of ink on her hands, and she came up to me. She's like, "Nella, look, I have ink hands." And I'm like, "What are ink hands?" And she's like, "My hands have ink on them." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, that makes sense." And this particular day, we had like a bunch of activities set up around our classroom because, you know, it was preschool. And my crush, he was doing like a different activity than he normally did. Don't remember what that was, but I for some reason I was like so worried about him. I'm like, it was so cute. I was like, he's not acting like himself. I'm so worried about him. You know, I like this kid so much. I have to help him out. I have to do something. He's not doing the same activity that he normally does, so he's not acting like himself. Oh my goodness. I really cared about him a lot. And so I told my friend with the ink hands about this. And she was like, "Oh my goodness, I have this genius idea. I am going to scare him back to normal with my ink hands." And my 4-year-old brain was like, "Oh my gosh, that is the greatest idea in the history of ideas." And so we literally like ambushed the poor kid. We snuck up on my crush, and my friend just like jumped out at him and screamed, "Ink hands!" And my crush like screamed and like fell to the ground with like fear. And then the rest of the day, I don't know. I don't really remember what happened after that, but I know that I was satisfied. Apparently I was satisfied that, you know, he was himself after that, and that the genius ink hands plan worked. And yeah, I haven't seen that kid since I was 4. I hope he's doing all right, but if you're watching this video right now, Corey, I just want to say I am incredibly sorry that me and my friend scared you like that. I don't know what was going through our brains at that moment in preschool, but yeah. So that's all the stories of weird things that I did as a young child that I have for you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed hearing them. I enjoyed telling them, brought back some good memories for sure. I'm sure I could think of more weird stuff I did as a child because I was a very weird kid. So if you guys want more of this content, let me know and I can try and do a part 2. But yeah, have an amazing, amazing day, everybody, and I will see you all next time. Bye, my childs!